Have you ever wondered what will happen to you after you die? Will you disappear forever, or will something remain? Imagine your last breath. The room becomes silent. Your body stops moving. But, is that really the end of you? Stay with me. Because what you are about to hear might change how you see life and death forever. Every human, at some point, asks the same question: what happens after death? Some believe there is nothing. Others believe in heaven, hell, reincarnation, or another dimension. But no one can fully prove it. And that mystery is what makes death so powerful. From ancient kings to modern scientists, everyone has wondered, is death the end, or a doorway? Science tells us that when the brain stops working, consciousness disappears. Your body returns to nature. Your atoms become part of the universe again. But science also admits something shocking: we still don't understand consciousness. Where does your self come from? Why do you feel like you? Some scientists believe consciousness might exist beyond the brain. Some think it could be a fundamental part of the universe, like space and time. So even science is not sure. Thousands of people around the world have died, and came back. They talk about leaving their body, seeing a bright light, meeting loved ones, feeling infinite peace. Some say they saw their entire life in seconds. Others say they were told, "It's not your time." Are these just brain illusions, or glimpses of another reality? No one knows for sure. Every civilization has a story about what happens after death. Christianity speaks of heaven and hell. Islam speaks of the afterlife and judgment. Hinduism and Buddhism speak of reincarnation. Ancient Egyptians believed the soul travels to another world. Why do cultures separated by thousands of years and kilometers all believe in something beyond death? Maybe humans sense that death is not the end. What if death is not the opposite of life? What if death is just a transition? Before you were born, you didn't exist as a person. But the universe existed. And now, you exist. So what if death is simply returning to another form of existence? Energy cannot be destroyed. Atoms cannot disappear. So why should consciousness simply vanish? Imagine this: you fall asleep. You dream nothing. You feel nothing. But suddenly, you wake up in a different reality. Different body. Different world. But still you. Is that possible? No one can prove it's impossible. Think about your loved ones. Think about your memories. Think about your dreams. Do they really disappear? Some believe your impact remains forever. Your words, your kindness, your actions. They change the future in ways you will never see. In that sense, you never truly die. Many spiritual teachers say death is an illusion. They say the soul is eternal. The body is just a temporary vessel. When the body dies, the soul returns to its source. Imagine dropping a glass of water into the ocean. The glass disappears, but the water becomes part of something bigger. What if death is like that? You are made of stardust. Every atom in your body was once inside a star. So when you die, you don't disappear. You return to the cosmos. In a way, you become the universe again. People fear death because they fear the unknown. But what if the unknown is not something to fear? What if death is peace? What if it is awakening? What if it is the next chapter? What if the most important question is not, what happens after death? But, what will you do before death? Because knowing you will die gives life meaning. It makes every moment precious. You might die one day. But your story does not end there. You live in the memories of others. You live in the universe itself. And maybe, you live beyond this reality. What if death is not the end of consciousness, but the moment you finally understand everything? What if the universe is a classroom, and death is graduation? No one knows. But maybe, that mystery is what makes life beautiful. The Bible gives a clear and powerful answer about what happens after death. It says that every human being will face judgment. Not by other people. Not by society. But by God. According to the Bible, your life is a test. Every choice. Every action. Every thought. If a person believes in God, follows his path, and lives with faith, their soul will enter heaven, a place of eternal peace, joy, and light. A place with no pain, no fear, no death. But the Bible also speaks about another destination. If a person rejects God, lives without faith, and turns away from His truth, they will face hell, a place of separation from God, darkness, and suffering. The Bible says, "And as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment." What makes this message so powerful is that the Bible does not say death is the end. It says death is the beginning of eternity. Eternity in heaven. Or eternity in hell. No second chances. No reset button. No returning back. Just the result of the life you lived. So the real question is not only, what happens after you die? The real question is, where will you go? Heaven, or hell? Your choices today decide your eternity. And maybe, just maybe, this video is not random. If this video made you think about life and death, leave a comment with what you believe happens after death. Subscribe for more deep and mysterious questions about reality, God, and the universe. Because one day, we will all find out the answer.